Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 3 for Thursday, where I share 3 things about something on Thursday. And in today's episode, I'm going to share 3 things I always have in my camera bag. So before we get started, my name is Gladdy from Heart Take the Wheel, your brand and business photographer. All right, so let's dive right in. Now, I want to make sure that it's very clear. I'm not going to cover obvious, it's super obvious that I have a camera in there and lenses and extra batteries and SD cards and yeah, those are duh. So aside from those things, these are 3 things that are still kind of basic in my eyes, but still 3 things that if I don't have them, I'm gonna kind of be like, whenever you leave the house and you're like, oh shoot. Yeah, that. So these are those. Let's go into number 1. Number 1 is my remote. So I have a remote for my camera. It's an off-brand one from Photo and Tech. I don't care. It really doesn't matter. I had an on-brand one before. I had an off-brand. They all work. They're all wonders. This is a very simple one. It doesn't have a bunch of extra options. It just has a 2-second and a instant shot. I love this thing because it does open up all of my options when I'm working with clients and they last minute say, oh, that would be really cool if we could maybe, get a photo of this, or whatever, maybe a sequence of photos to create a collage, or maybe they want to create, they want me to create a GIF or GIF. I don't care what team you're on, GIF or GIF. But I like to create those in Photoshop with photos. And so you get a sequence of photos that are all shot and whatever, and then you put them in Photoshop and you can make a GIF. And maybe I'll show you that to you sometime, I don't know. But here's what I know is if you're doing it handheld, it just does not look as good. It just doesn't. So using the remote and a tripod definitely levels up the game there. Also, I can shoot stop motion, or maybe they want a photo, a group photo, or a photo with me in it, or there are some things that having a remote and tripod really do allow you to kind of do all of the things. Now, of course, you can jimmy rig it with, GorillaPods or balancing your camera somewhere, using the timer. And while that's possible, it's still just not the same, and it feels so much better to just have the right gear sometimes. And that's why I love my remote. I love it so much. And then if I am on out and about and I'm ready and I'm like, oh, that would be really cool for a self-portrait, because I'm doing the self-portrait project 52. Ta-da! So yeah, remote is definitely something I always have in my bag at the ready on my desk, because it depends on if I'm in the studio or out and about. Number 2 would be a pack of business cards. This might seem obvious, but maybe sometimes it's not, because I do know that I have, walked up to other service providers and they don't have their stuff on them. And so that's fine, it's whatever. But here's my take, why I always have them in my purse. I always have it in my, bag. I almost call it a shutter bag. Camera bag, because when you're on the job, guess what people, if you are shooting in a public place, guess what people are seeing? They're seeing you do your work, and that's a pretty great marketing piece, is you doing your job. So it's just another avenue for people to realize oh, hey, you do this thing. I actually know someone who needs that, or I need that service, or I'd like your information, just, blah, blah, blah. People come up to me while I'm doing my work. It has happened more than once. And so having a card at the ready is easy and nice to have, just to give it to them. Because here's the thing. Yes, you can exchange information on your phone. You can do the Instagram thing. You could do whatever. But I'm talking about when you're on the job, right? When you're on the job, depending on what, project, job, whatever it is, you might not have the time, or it might be disrespectful for you to just stop and converse with a possible lead or something for a few minutes. So if let's say you're shooting an event, or you're literally in the middle of a conversation with someone, and they walk up and they see that you have a camera and this and that, they're like, oh, hey, just, sorry to interrupt, but I need a photographer for this thing, and I was just seeing that you're doing this right here, I'd like your information. That has happened to me, and I was able to just be yeah, I'm working right now, but here's my card, contact me, leave me a message, call me, text me your info, and then I'll follow up with you. And that works. It's quick, it's to the point, and then you can direct your attention back to the person who's paying you for your time. On the other hand, maybe you are at a, on the job with a client that you can take a minute to, while you're shooting, it's like, you can feel it. Like, you be the judge of when you can or cannot take an extra minute with that person and be like, because obviously in the follow-up world, you want their information from them so that you can follow up with them and not wait for the other way around to happen, because it's more likely that you can follow up with them rather than wait for them to follow up with you type thing. It, is better business for you to be the one doing the following up. So with that being said, gauge it how you will. I like to have cards handy for either situation. I can just hand them a card and continue working, or if I do have a minute gauging the situation, I can hand them a card, get their information from them, and that be that. And the third thing that I love to always have at the ready in my camera bag would be my lens pen or any similar thing of sorts. I mainly just really need this pusher duster thing, and because it just never fails that there's always going to be something on your freaking lens, and so it's nice to have something that can just kind of wipe off that stuff real quick. And if you need something just a little more intense, then you've got the little scrubber thing. But I use the little dusty thing more than anything. I know that some photographers have, their yes and no's about things and personal preferences, and whatever is your thing. But I like having this ready all the time. I like having it. It has saved me a few times, so it's good to have. And I feel better using something like this than like blowing on the lens and maybe getting spit on it, or using a t-shirt or something. I don't even know. So I like using just something like this. It's really light. It just has the clip. It goes where my pins go in my camera bag or whatever. It works wonders. It's simple. Alright guys, so these are the 3 things. They're very small, as you see, because camera bags, you never know what kind of size bag you're working with. Especially me. If you watch that video of regrets, then you know I have issues with camera bags right now, and I still haven't quite fixed my issue. So these are the 3 little things that I like to keep in my camera bag, and it helps make sure that I can get the job done, continue getting work maybe, and kind of keep the quality up. So hope that was helpful for you. I'd love to know, what are 3 must-haves for you, other than obvious camera, lenses, batteries, SD cards. What are some 3 must-haves that you need to have in your work bag, your camera bag? It doesn't have to be photography related. Like, if you take an assortment of things with you on your job all the time, what is like non-negotiable, like you feel, ooh, if you don't bring it? Like, what's that thing? I'd love to know. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!